Okay, today I'm gonna do my first ever comic book review, and I am gonna review one of my all-time favorite graphic novels, Transformers: All Hail Megatron. Now, as you probably know, I am a huge fan of Transformers, not of the movies, but of the cartoons and the comics. And a lot of people, they dismiss Transformers, saying that, well, all of this is just made to sell more toys. And to a certain degree, I can agree on that. But for me, Transformers, as well as G.I. Joe, it's a bit like the holidays, you know. At the surface, there's just shallow commercialism, but there's a second layer underneath that, and that's where you can find the heart, the interest, the nostalgia, and you know, everything that makes Transformers interesting. And this graphic novel, it's great. It really makes me want to read more Transformers comic books. Everything that I like about Transformers I can find in this graphic novel. Now, what All Hail Megatron is, basically, it's a collection of stories, different, more or less unrelated Transformers stories that all tells us either backstories to the familiar characters, or they really flesh out these characters. And after I read this book, I felt that these Transformers, they actually felt a lot more human to me. If you're a Transformers fan now and you haven't read this graphic novel, you must. I mean, you will never see these characters in the same way again. Now, this book relied a lot more on character development than, you know, story development. So I thought I was gonna go through some of the more important characters in this graphic novel, and you know, tell you how it changed my opinion of them, or you know, just how they are in this graphic novel. And first of all is, of course, Megatron and Starscream, because, well, Megatron's name is in the title, but he is actually not in the book for very long. Now, this book, it answers a very important question that many Transformers fans has been asking for the longest time. That is, why doesn't Megatron just kill Starscream? I mean, Starscream is always, you know, betraying him and try to take his place and whatnot. And here we learn that Starscream is actually Megatron's end-all to end-all project. He thinks that if he can mold Starscream after the ways of the Decepticons, which is, you know, victory by deceit and power to the powerful, that Starscream will eventually be the new Decepticon leader. And it sort of makes sense. I mean, Megatron is a very smart guy. He probably knows that he will not be around forever, and if he's gonna go, he probably wants a very powerful replacement, one that can embody everything about the Decepticons, the ruthlessness and the power, and so on. And he thinks that by treating Starscream the way he does, Starscream will one day become that leader. But Megatron also tells Starscream that leadership can't be given to you. You have to take it. Yeah, Megatron actually seems to have a lot of respect for Starscream here. And another cool thing, once Starscream actually revolt against him, the Decepticon camp actually splits in two, The ones that follow logic, like Bombshell and Soundwave, they stand behind Megatron, while the more irrational Decepticons, like the Constructicons, they actually goes with Starscream. Another way to look at it is that the ones that it goes with Starscream, they are the ones that follow the way of the Decepticons, while the other ones is the one that are just loyal to Megatron. Okay, next character is Optimus Prime, the Jesus Christ of the Transformers. Now, he has several great moments in this graphic novel. The first one is when he battles Megatron, and Megatron says, what the hell are you doing, Prime? Why are you back at Earth? And Optimus says, these people and the sanctity of all life stands under our protection. And Megatron replies, why would you risk the life of your own men to save the life of people that have tormented one of your own and is right now sending a bomb to kill us all as well as millions of their own kind? And Optimus says this, and this is great. He says, it's not only about saving the humans, it's about who we are and what separates us from you. I think what Optimus is implying is that it does not matter how evil a species is. As long as it is alive, it has the right to exist, no matter what atrocities they commit. The Autobots will protect them, while the Decepticons will mostly try to kill them. Now, you might not agree with Optimus Prime's view of the world, but if he do not commit to these ideals, he will no longer be an Autobot, or even Optimus Prime. Now, Optimus has another great moment in this comic book, and that's when he and Ironhide first met, and it's Ironhide that reminisces about the good old times. And I have the graphic novel right here in my hands. Cop has assembled an army, and Optimus is sizing all of them up, and he goes by Ironhide, and Ironhide asks for permission to talk. Cop says denied, and Optimus says granted, and Ironhide says, with respect, most of your army here have never picked up, let alone fired a weapon before, and most of them will die before they ever do. They are not soldiers, and you, sir, are unlikely to increase their odds of survival by telling them they are. Cops then abrupt Ironhide and tells him that he's out of line, but Optimus wants him to continue. Ironhide then say that the Autobots need a military leader with a know-how, and with respect, sir, that's not you. Cop then tells Optimus, Ironhide here served in the Cybertronian military. He's taken his fair share of knocks to the head. Optimus then leans forward to Ironhide and says, teach me. That, I think, is great leadership right there. Most of us, when we are criticized this hardly, we usually tell the person to shut the fuck up, especially if we have the command position. But Optimus instead says, hey, if you don't think I have the capabilities to lead this troop, then teach me what I need to know. And he does. He leads. He learns a lot from Ironhide, but he also becomes friend with Ironhide, and he develops somewhat of an independence from Ironhide. He He knows that sometimes Ironhide isn't right, sometimes it's better to count your losses and move on. Yeah, it really makes you think of Michael Bay's treatment of Ironhide, you know. He get the guy shot in the back and nobody mentioned it afterwards. Okay, another character that gets a well treatment in here is Thundercracker. Now, I always liked Thundercracker, but here he's just great. Yeah, he don't think that Megatron is always right. He thinks that, you know, coming to Earth and slaughtering a lot of, you know, helpless humans, there's no honor in it, and you know, it's not war anymore. He says it's slaughter, and in the end, he actually saves Manhattan by deflecting that bomb I was talking about. Then Skywarp calls him a traitor and blows his head off, I guess. Just as this comic gives my favorite characters a lot of good treatment, it also made me a fan of a lot of Transformers characters that I didn't really care for so much in the cartoons. And one of those characters are Sunstreaker. Now in the cartoons he's more of a background character really, but here he has become one of my favorite Transformers ever. Of all the Autobots, he has like the most depressing backstory. It's revealed that he was one of the first Autobots to come to Earth, and when he came here, he was captured by the US military, and they experimented on him and tore him apart and tried to create this half human, half Cybertronian cyborg named Hunter. And you know, it's really cruel. I mean, it's very, very graphic cruelty here against Sunstreaker. And in one particular picture, he actually says, "Please kill me." And now later the other Autobots saved him and put him together, but after that horrendous experience, he hates humanity and he wants to see us all dead. This backstory it plays in a lot on what he do, his character development, and what he do for and against his fellow Autobots, and it also leads to probably one of the most dramatic scenes in this entire graphic novel. I mean, he does something. I will not tell you what finally happens to him, but he does something that is so dark, and it's something that no other Transformers has ever done. So yeah, Sunstreaker, terrific character with a great story arc in here. Another character I really like here is Bombshell. Now, if you don't remember, Bombshell is this Decepticon that can transform himself into a beetle, and he has this knight-like head. I like him a lot in this graphic novel because he is a bit like Hannibal Lecter. He likes to get under the skin of the Transformers, you know, to try to get to them emotionally. And you know, he does this even to characters that are stronger than him. He just likes the emotional torment, no matter what it has for consequences for him. So he's a very creepy. He's a very creepy Decepticon in here, actually. Another Decepticon I never really cared for until I read this book is Scrapper. which is one of the Constructicons. What's so great about him is that he is a jokester. He tells a lot of fun jokes. And actually the entire book opens up with him joking. He and the other Constructicons are in New York, and they transform, and there's a lot of people gathering around them wondering what's happening. And Rapper, he opens his arms and says, "Human creatures of Earth, we come in peace. We come to preach the message of unity, cooperation, and goodwill between our races. Ours is a message of kindness." And then he looks around to the Constructicons, and they all start laughing and start blowing up buildings and killing people. It's pretty funny. Now moving on to another character that I didn't even know about until I read this book, but now he is like one of my favorite characters, and his name is Drift. Now you probably haven't heard of Drift. He hasn't been in any of the cartoons yet, but man, he is awesome. He's a Transformers samurai. He uses swords and hand-to-hand combat more than he uses firepower. And he used to be a Decepticon named Deadlock, but later he started to disagree with a lot of the things that the Decepticons did. He started to develop a conscience, and he left the Decepticons. But what I really like about this guy is that he didn't move over from being a Decepticon into becoming a Autobot directly. When he after some years after that he had left the Decepticons, he started to target them and actually track different Decepticons down and kill them. Drift is in several stories in this book, but there is one story that spotlights him, and that's the story of when he first met Cop and his band of Autobots. And as I said, he wasn't an Autobot at this point. He was just he was a rogue Decepticon that, as I said, tried to kill other Decepticons. And this time, Cop and his team, they were on this Decepticon ship to blow it up, and Drift was on the same Decepticon ship to kill this one Decepticon named Turmoil. By the way, Turmoil is another Decepticon that just creeps me out. He has this really dark color scheme, so he like melts with the shadows in the background, and he has these big red glowing eyes. And he and Drift has some history together. And there is one very particular moment in the story that is just great, and that's Drift's moment of growth and judgment, so to say. This is the situation. The ship is sinking, or falling, I should say. The ship is falling. All the other Autobots, except for Perceptor, that has been severely damaged, they have left the ship. Turmoil is also left on the ship, as well as Drift, that now has a choice of either helping Perceptor getting out alive, or he can kill this Decepticon named Turmoil. And it really is the moment when he decides if he is an Autobot or if he is just a Decepticon without the team. If he kills Turmoil, then he probably values death more than life, and if he decides to save Perceptor, then he probably values life more than death, which is what the Autobots do. And of course he do the right decision. He decides to save Perceptor instead of killing off Turmoil. And after that he he meets Cup once again, and Cup says, "Hey, do you want to be an Autobot?" And he says, "Well, I have thought about it, and there is really not so much of a big difference between me and you guys." And Cup tells him that everybody deserves a second chance, even Decepticons. And yeah, after that, Drift is part of the Autobots. And that's another thing I really like about that story. You know, these characters, they are not simply, okay, you're a Decepticon, so you are evil, or you are an Autobot, so you are good. You know, all of these characters have a choice to make in this war. They can either become Autobots, or they can fight along the other Decepticons. They are not born to their allegiances. Another character I really liked here was Sixshot. Now, Sixshot is another Decepticon I don't really cared too much about in the cartoons, but here he's like Deathstroke. He's an excellent hand-to-hand fighter. He has major firepower. He's extremely fast, and he's very smart. He's a excellent strategist, and you know, he can single-handedly take down a bunch of different Autobots. There is even one moment when the Autobots have a plan to take him down, and he can sort of sense the mood swing, and he doesn't do anything. He just asks himself, well, how close can these Autobots come to get me, just so that I can completely turn the tides and, you know, beat the living crap out of them. So Sixshot, he's very condescending and very egotistical, but it's okay because he can match that up with his skills.